Musikproduktiv und Musitalk TV präsentieren den Webcast von der Musikmesse 2012. Hallo und herzlich willkommen zum Messecast 2012 von der Frankfurter Musikmesse, präsentiert von Musitalk TV und Musikproduktiv. Und ich bin endlich als MPC-Versteher bei Akai und habe neben mir den Andy. Hallo Andy.
How are you doing? You good?
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah.
Excellent.
You know, I was really sad that I didn't go to NAMM to be able to play with this, because I've been using the MPC 3000 for 10 years as my sequencer and drum machine.
Okay. Well, you missed a great show, though, definitely. You know, it was probably one of the best shows we've ever had this year.
I heard. It was massive. Yeah. So now there's a completely new concept. One would say it's a little bit like the machine concept. You know, you have a controller and you're using the CPU of the computer. But this version here also incorporates an audio interface, right?
That's right, yeah. The reason why we've incorporated an audio interface is because on this particular machine, we have the emulations of the historical 3000 and the 60. So we needed an interface inside to give us the capability to do that.
Mm-hmm. And how does it work out? I mean, for me, I always loved the MPC because, you know, you've got a straight timing, you always know what's going to happen. And now I'm a bit vague if that is actually possible to do that in a combination with the computer, because now obviously the timing, you know, is determined by the software inside there. And if I have a fucked up Mac or PC, I might have a lousy timing.
Right. Well, at the end of the day, you know, the timing on all these hardware machines is all to do with a processor anyway, so it's no different. The processors in the computers nowadays are probably a million times faster. I've looked at the timing with these machines, and there's nothing different about any of the other MPCs. If you look at the whole philosophy behind the swing in the MPC 3000, it's all to do with how the samples are actually cut. Because there was physically no waveform editing, so many people edit with waveforms now that their chops are so precise. If you look at a 3000, there was always a lot of lag at the beginning or at the end of the sample, which created a little bit of looseness when you were doing your sampling.
Well, when someone is too stupid to really sample correctly, I was.
But you know, let me just move this over. But that was one of the things that came up in conversation about timing on MPCs. And at the end of the day, the one thing for me is that millions of people have made hits on all of them, so you can't take one of them and say that's the best one.
Okay. But this one has an emulation of the MPCs. 3060, so it's all there for me, so this would be a perfect machine. Can you tell me, I mean, from a user interface point of view, this looks a little bit like a 5000? You know, it's got rotaries, it's got the pads.
It's got the rotaries because obviously it needs to interact with what's going on in the software, and there's obviously, because it has the ability to incorporate plugins and VSTs, etc., you need more control over that. So this section is very important. As far as the older MPCs, you've got the 3000 transport control. You have the same 3000 layout on the LCD screen, and you have the same menu options. So from an MPC user, it's very intuitive.
So I could work with this completely standalone without ever looking at the software?
Yeah, that's right, completely, 100%. So I could, well, I've got nothing happening here, but we could move the screen. I could come up to here and say, right, okay, sequence 1. I'm going to open up a sequence. I'll pick my BPM, which is, say, 120.22. I'll go to track 1. I'll select a program. I have my samples here, and as you can see, they're all moving on the screen, and I can play my samples. I can edit my samples. I have a wave editor here.
So there are no hidden special features that I can't do on the hardware?
Nothing. You know, one of the things which is great, which I'll show you on the screen so you can see a clearer picture, we've got a really fantastic way of editing loops. So if we go to our main menu, I'll select one of the loops I have in here. And then I can go to my sequence edit, and then let me find a longer sample. Hold on, here we go. So I have a long sample here. We can go, okay, I'm going to put it into chop mode, and then we can chop the sample up in 3 different ways: threshold, region, or BPM.
Well, that's stuff I've seen on the 4000.
Right, but
the 5000.
You haven't seen like this. Once I've done the chop, I hit audition. It now sends it to the pads live, so I can audition the chops live. before you go through the whole transition of making a program and then signing it. So I can go, okay, I don't like that. I'm going to take it off Audition and I'm going to re-slice it. Okay, I'll try that. Audition it. I can now try my slicing again. So you can always work the flow without having to stop and do things.
It's all about the flow, Andy, isn't it? Yeah. And it's all about the feel. Can you just hold the mic for a second? Because I want to just... I just want to... Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Solid.
feels solid, it's quite heavy. The pads are a little bit wobbly here.
The finished pads, remember this is a hand-built prototype. Oh. The finished version will have literally the same pads as the MPC 3000. They're going to be extremely amazing pads. So
because this is not like, okay. Also same here, because they feel really nice. Yeah, they're nice.
You know, this is probably about 70% to completion. There's a few alterations we're going to make on the feel of the wheel. Like I said, the final pad. So it's very close. The color's not going to change. You know, this is the format, but the pads are, you know, the most important thing.
Absolutely. And this is not up to scratch yet, but coming.
The main thing for us was to show this product at NAMM show because of the amount of people that are going down to that show, and we wanted to reveal to the world what we've been doing. So, you know, obviously this is why it's coming out summertime.
And that's why also we only see a mock-up of the Fly and the Studio, right? Okay. Great. I'm very, very excited to try out the MP3 3000 in 60 mode, obviously. Thank you very much, Andy.
No problem.